Hey guys, Spiritual Whistleblower here. I am reporting live from my vacation. I am in Puerto Rico. I'm not in San Juan. I'm in a very exclusive, I don't want to say my exact location, but it's about an hour outside of San Juan, and it's very beautiful. It's a closed-in resort off the beach, and I'm having a fabulous time. Now, I decided, I was going to wait to post my afterthoughts on the Diddy verdict when I got back from my vacation, but I can offer y'all a few minutes of commentary. As I predicted, my fear is with the jurors is that they would not be, since this is a high-profile case. The jurors should be in a secluded location where the media can't get to them, nobody can proposition them. They have to stay in this hotel, they can't go home for the duration of the trial. That's what we call sequestered. But the judge has to order the jurors to be sequestered. The judge, which I was very surprised, being that this is a high-profile case, I'm very shocked the judge did not order the jurors to be sequestered, isolated, but there were 8 men on the jury and 4 women. We don't know nothing about those men, their backgrounds, their history with women. If you have a jury with multiple men who are narcissistic, think women are lower than scum. Hell, some of them could be married and they could be in a miserable marriage. And their wife is putting up with their ass, their bullshit. We don't know the history of the jurors, being that there's 8 men. That's why they were selected. Because men still to this day uphold the patriarchal system. I'm very shocked, but I'm not shocked. Coercion, I thought prosecution did a very good job of proving coercion. They established his behavior. His behavior was very abusive. He repeated this behavior not just with his lovers, he repeated this with his employees. He had, what's the young lady's name? Capricorn Clark. He wasn't sleeping with her. She wasn't his girlfriend, but he threatened, kidnapped, and coerced. Coercion and kidnapping was clearly proven. Sex trafficking was proven. The receipts were receipting. Him ordering his employees to carry out illegal duties, purchasing drugs, firearms. The evidence was there. Now, what I see is a jury full of men, majority of men, and this is, I've been teaching this stuff for years, y'all. If you have photographs and evidence to expose somebody, and you take the photos and evidence to a group of people that also have narcissistic personality disorder, and you're trying to show these people, you're not doing gossip, you're not doing he say, she say, you're coming with photos and evidence. That group of people is going to ignore all your evidence because they're narcissistic. Abusers will always support abusers, whether they know the abuser or they don't know. The system failed the victims. The jurors failed the victims. There needs to be a new system where jurors are pre-screened. We don't know if any of those 8 men abused their wives and girlfriends. We don't know if any of those 8 male jurors are womanizers. Hell yeah, they're going to vote support Diddy. We don't know if they were propositioned with money to sway the vote, which is what I suspect, but there was so much overwhelming evidence. The prosecution proved coercion. When Cassie was running away from the freak-off and he beat her ass in the hallway at the hotel. Yeah, he's forcing her against her will. Oh, they keep saying, well, she could have left. Prosecution proved that when she did attempt to leave, he would stalk her. He would pay people to stalk her. She even attempted suicide because she felt there was no way out. Shame on the jurors. No, it's not easy for women to leave dangerous men. And that jury knew that. That man is guilty of coercion. That man is guilty of arson. Every crime that he was accused of, that motherfucker did it. And prosecution, they proved that this was not a weak case. This is down, when it comes down to the jurors, no matter how much overwhelming evidence, if those jurors are toxic, if they're fucking toxic, if they have a history of domestic violence, if they're womanizers and cheaters, the fucking evidence is not going to matter one bit. They're always going to side with the abuser. Diddy's defense did a trash job. They were terrible. Even in their professional conduct, they were terrible. Kept throwing for a mistrial. Absurd. The jurors saw all of that and they still supported the abuser. So I don't believe that prosecution, they had a very strong case. They had overwhelming evidence. We just had a set of really shitty ass jurors who probably more than likely are abusive men themselves. They said, fuck the evidence, we're going to support Diddy. So this is where we're at in society today. People are refusing to acknowledge the abuse cycle of a narcissistic man and how, yes, you can leave that man alone and you're still in danger. You can divorce that man and you're at risk at losing your life for divorcing him. People just refuse to see that you can leave an abusive man, but he will come for you. And then you got to add to that a corrupt system of law enforcement who doesn't take women seriously. When we come to file those complaints about these abusive men, they don't take it serious, or the judges don't deem your case serious enough to issue you a restraining order. I've been through all of this. Ladies, when I tell you to leave these men alone the first time, leave them the first time. The first red flag, we got to stop forgiving men. We've got to stop forgiving them. Because when it's time for them to do what they do, they have no problem throwing women underneath the bus. Men stick together. Abusive men really stick together. Why are women so divided? And there are abusive women that support these abusive men. They're also a threat. I believe Diddy, his baby mothers, even his little girlfriend, Carisha, they're celebrating that he didn't get convicted on the serious charges. Those are dangerous women. What can we learn from this Diddy situation? When you see the first red flag, leave. Do not let a man talk you into giving him a second chance. Stop giving men second chances. What Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are the first time, that's it, you believe them. Don't try to paint a picture that they're a good person, maybe you should get them. No, women have to leave the first sign, the first red flag. Don't play with it. And this is why I can't stand Shira 7 and her followers, because Shira 7 promotes sex work. That's all her gimmick is teaching young girls, how to exchange their vaginas for some money. Because that's what she did. Chasing behind somebody's husband thought she won a prize because he bought her a couple of gifts, and now she's locked down and married and miserable to an abusive man. So now she's teaching women out here how to follow behind her fucking footsteps, knowing that niggas is dangerous out here. Men with money are dangerous. Diddy is one of them. Then when you try to leave, it's hard as hell, because he has the money, the connections, the resources to make your life fucking miserable for escaping and leaving him alone. Don't take Shira Seven's advice unless you want to end up like Cassie. And pay attention to women. Watch the women out here that are celebrating for Diddy. Those are the pick-me's. Those are the female narcissists. Those are the female sociopaths. We've got to start separating ourselves. When people are showing us their behavior and character from afar, take notes and pay attention. Pay attention to every last person that's saying free Diddy. Pay attention to all the women that are happy that he got off. Those are the people we need to exile away from survivors and victims of domestic violence and children. And that's all I'm going to say. But I have a feeling, let me tell you something, even the judge's behavior, the judge is probably shocked at the verdict, and he's probably upset that he didn't sequester the jury. That judge wants Diddy underneath the fucking jail. That judge does not like Diddy. That's why he was denied bail until October 8th. And honestly, I hope that the feds are going to indict him again in the future on other charges. I don't think this is the last. I think this is just the beginning. I think Sean Diddy Combs is involved in a lot of criminal things that he has gotten away with in the past. And I pray that while they have him detained, they will indict him on new charges. He does not need to be free. He is a very dangerous man. And that's all I'm gonna say about the Diddy trial. We could talk about it in the comment section. I gotta go back to my vacation, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Ladies, leave it the first red flag. Even before you go on the date with the man, if you notice anything in his conversation when you're getting to know him, don't. The first red flag, go, bye. We've got to stop playing, y'all, seriously. Because society does not see an abuser repeatedly trauma bonding and abusing a woman. They look at you as a dumb bitch because you keep going back. Why did you keep going back? Why did you keep going back? Society will never understand the abuse cycle of a narcissist because the society is full of narcissists and abusive men and women that co-sign that motherfucker's behavior. Smarten up, ladies. Either stay single and celibate. If you're gonna date, stay off the fucking dating apps. That's where all the predators are. Stop looking for money, make your own fucking money. Stop looking for a provider husband. Fuck Shira 7 and all the women like her that teach that fucking dumb shit. Knowing that if you try to leave an abusive man, he's either gonna stalk you or take your life or harm you and your children. No more second chances for men, no more. I really mean that with all my heart. Either you stay single, stay away from fucking men. If you're gonna fuck with them, leave it the first red flag. You're gonna be blamed for returning back to an abuser. You're going to be blamed. The justice system failed Cassie and every last victim that testified and put their lives in danger. That's all I'm gonna say. And I hope this judge gives him the maximum of 20 years because the judge can. They're talking about all these guys. The judge can do what the fuck he wants. I hope he gets the entire 20-year sentence. And I hope the feds indict him on new charges. I hope there are more charges to come. Keep him detained and charge him. This is not the end for Sean Combs. He does not belong. They was going to throw a 4th of July welcome home party. Get the fuck out of here, man. Some sick people in this world. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. Let me get back to my vacation. Love you guys.